It's very important to know about the change. Very, very important. It's a basic part of all human history. And especially in this modern life, change is very rapid. So we need many people to know the elements of change specifically in specific areas and generally in general areas. Change as a major concept and change as specific concepts in specific areas. For example, in education, in parenting, even in sexology, we have very different. Sexology is a science of studying, investigating science of studying sex as a science, observable and measurable. It is academic field. Even in something like sexology, we have many new concepts. I'm talking about it because whenever we talk about change, all people think about or personal development or organizational development. They are the huge areas, they're the main areas. But in the specific parts, we have different parts, not only need to be changed, also they are changing. They don't need to be changed. They need change managers. They need some people come and say them how can they create change, not need to change. It is about creating change and handling change. Because of that, please, after this class, it is highly recommended. Again, I am talking to you that it is highly recommended to listen podcasts about change. I will talk about the hero's journey without you. It's a very, very, very important, basic, scientifically and historically based model for change. It is called Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell and other people. For example, there is a book with the title of Awaken the Hero Within or Awaken Your Heroes Within. It's about the change and very by the orders, very systematically. It is not about the stories, it is not about the fictions, it is about the reality of your life. So, objective of this chapter is summarize the dominant forces for change in organization and describe the process of planned organization change. Discuss several approaches to organization development. Explain resistance to change. Identify the keys to managing successful organization change and development and describe organizational learning. Now, in the beginning of 21st century, we have four areas for change. These are the areas that you will every day confront with a lot of changing elements or need to change. And in many areas, you confront with resistance to change or change resistance. One of them, with that first, historically, is about human being, people. If you look at the history of human beings, you are looking at the history of change. What is called history, the other name of history is recording of change. It is called history. When there is nothing new, nothing changeable, nothing new force, nothing alter the states of everything, it is not called history. Nobody has written anything about the things that which are everyday and ordinary. Okay, it is not history. It is ordinary, not extraordinary. It is regular. We never talk and write about the history of regular people. Why? It's not important. For the writers, for the author, for the historian, it is not important. So, if you want to call other name for the history, you can call it is the recordings of change in all human life from the time it is near 3,000 years, near 2,000 years, that we as human beings have begun to write our history near 300 before Roman Empire. There are other parts which is about the last 100 years of our living on the planet. It is about technology. Also, technology it is about 4 centuries, yes, but the huge changing in technology is less than 1 century, especially in the uh, second part of second half of 20th century, which is very rapid changes in technology. And you see that just now. It's rapider and rapider and rapider. Every day, changes are more possible in technology because of the knowledge, because of the tools we have, because of the manager we have. They are talking about post-human being. Please go to internet and search these words: post-human, transhuman, meta-human. These are the new concepts of humanity. And Homo digitalis. We are becoming a new phase, a new species of human. It is called Homo digitalis. I am Homo sapiens, intelligent human. We are entering the new generation. It is evolutionary, and we are very, very serious concepts. Many money are invested in these searching about the post-humanism. Post-humanism, there's a very good book, I think it is 2019 or 2020, post-humanism, or Homo digitalis, or Homo digitus, or post-human being. Because of these rapid changes in technology and other parts of our human life, we are encountering many assets, many investment, many tools, many things that we have to encounter and confront with change in new dimensions, in new perspectives, not the old perspectives. Change is always about new things, not the old things. If you are going back to the old things, you are changing the last thing and flashback to the old things. Sometimes, for example, in fashion area, we have some flashback, recurrency of the old fashion. Why? Because we have, for example, 10, 20, 30 models of fashions, very huge areas. And after 20 or 30 years, is again come back with the new approach to the old ways. The approach has been changed, but the old area, yes, it is a combination with innovation and dogmatism, innovation and old fashion. Other parts, information processing and communication. Technology is about the control of science. Technology is the controlling part of science, controlling outcome of science. By technology, you can control the world based on the sciences you have received and you have find in your researches or in your academy. But in information processing, especially now we have the field in a university, I think Harvard or Stanford, we have a field so-called uh, digital psychology, no, cyber psychology. Cyber psychology is a very new field in the psychology, which talk about the different approaches to the human life from the perspective and from the view of cyberspace, new ways to communicate to each other, new ways to have friendship, new ways to have, for example, trading, especially in this time of Corona. It is very important to know about the cyber psychology because cyber psychology is the sister, the sibling of digital marketing. If you don't know anything about cyber psychology, you are a very ordinary digital marketer, a very ordinary digital trader. If you know good about the last findings of cyber psychology, you know the behind the curtain, you know what is hidden in the market, but it is hidden. We cannot see it very easily. And the final part is competition, new tools, new products, new ways of competition, and sometimes new competition in some areas that before that we don't have anything to talk about it. You see the category again, and process of planned organization change. The first and the most famous theory about the change process is for Levin. Levin says about the process model, change process model. Very easy, very applicable. Planned organization change requires a systematic process of movement from one condition to another. It is the basic concepts of change. In the essence, in the nature of change, you can see the movement from one stage to another stage, from one age to another age, from one field to another field. Note that when we use the word change, we are talking about the quality, not quantity. Quantity in biology, we have two words, development and growth, or growth and development. Growth is about the change in quantity. For example, your weight, your height. It is your growth, it is not your development. Development is changing in quality, not in quantity. When you say we are passing some stage of, for example, cognitive development or psychosexual development or socio psychological development and other parts and other grades and other fields of development, you are talking about the changing in quality. You will be different one. Just the same you can see in the organizations. When you see from one grade to another grade, you are talking about movement. The second stage and the second step is not the first stage and first step. Why? Because a lot of changes have been occurred during this time and effort and smart effort, not only effort. The first part, unfreezing. For example, when you want to change your body shape, at first you know that you have many food habits, eating habits, habitual behaviors about eating. At first, you should unfreeze that eating habits. If you cannot change them, you cannot move from one stage to another stage. You cannot change your body shape, for example, if it is related to your eating habits. So the first stage of change for all areas of change, or personal change, social change, political change, at first it is destroying the old fashion, destroying the old habits. It is called, in the theory of Levins, it is called unfreezing. Process by which become aware of the need for change. The first step. The major problem of many people is not about that they don't want to change. They don't know about the need to change anything. Go to the street and talk to people. Everybody says, yes, yes, I should change. And I ask them why you should change. They say, change is good. Yes, but change is hard, change is difficult. Why you should change? They don't know about the need to change. It is not about the ability to change, power to change resistance or resistance to change. It is about the need to change. They don't know why they should change. It is the first step for creating change. People know that? Yes, why we should change. It is called unfreezing. After that, change. It is the stage of change. Movement from the old way of doing things to a new way. The second part. You can see the change you want you to see in your life in this stage. But it is not permanent, it is temporary. You are moving from your old fashion to your new fashion life. From old stage to new stage. From the previous lifestyle to the new lifestyle. But new lifestyle is not permanent. The third part, talking about the permanence. It says rephrasing. Process of making new behaviors relatively permanent and resistant to further change. It's so funny. The new permanent lifestyle, the new permanent characteristic, the new permanent traits, again, after rephrasing, after becoming of your lifestyle, the new traits will be resistant to the next changes. In that state, you don't know about the something so-called new. It is not new for you. In that state, it's your lifestyle. You know that? Yes, I was not like this. Okay. No problem. I have created some changes in my mindset, in my behavior, in my thought, in my feelings, in my education, in my marital states, and other parts. And now I am here and I have gained the results of change, and gains are permanent in me. So my new habits is the habits from the change have been created in my life. The new habits will be change resistant to the next after that need to change again, again, again. Because of that, it is called hero's journey. At the end of the journey, there's a stage go back to home. And the end of the any journey, you are getting prepared for the next journey. Again, the same process, 12 stages, 12 steps of hero's journey. Because of that is you are always hero of your life, hero as a warrior, hero as someone who want to fight with the previous history of his or her life and creating and gaining new features, new traits. Because of that, it is called hero's journey. It is not about the doing very great things. You are in this theory, you are the hero of your life. And what is your journey? Your life is your journey. Every aspect of life. For example, very simple things. You think that I'm a little lazy. I'm not lazy, but I'm procrastinator. I work hard at the last minute with a highly stress, and I don't know what should I do about, for example, time management and avoiding. It is a hero's journey. Whenever and wherever that status quo, that the ordinary world is not accepted as the best of you, best version of you, not best of the version of possibility. Possibility has other things. We encounter with a world of infinite possibility, but you are not infinite. You are limited with the limited forces, with the limited power, with the limited beliefs, with the limited history. And sometimes they are limited and sometimes they are limiting. For example, about your beliefs, you have limited beliefs and limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs, they're beliefs that limit you from going to the new areas of your life. They are called limiting beliefs. So you find that, yes, I should create a change in my life. Not in my whole life, not in my life, a very specific part. For example, about studying the university courses. I'm always, during the 8 weeks, I'm always at the stress of ending. And what about the final grade and other things? Know about the relationship, know about your occupation, know about, for example, the social relationship and other parts about your policies, politics in your life. Sometimes it is the great and main areas of your life. Sometimes it is about your very small areas of your life. It is not important. It is not the matter of size. It is the matter of importance. It is the matter of need to change. Which is more important? Something that is more need to change in that area. So more need to change, the more importance. It is relative, not about the very huge change. Sometimes it is very small change, very limited change, but it is important for you. Why? Because you feel that you need to create change in that area of your life. I have talked about the many areas of life. These are called the major, these are called the important areas of functioning, including education, marriage, occupation, interpersonal. These are four important areas of functioning in your life: educational life, occupational life, marital life, or very intimate relationship life, partnership life, and interpersonal social life. After this class, if you start to prepare a checklist for the areas you feel need to change in that area, in four important areas of functioning. What is skills? What zones? What learning you should have, for example, in your educational area of functioning or in your occupational functioning if you want to upgrade your situation and your state in your organization need to change in your love or marital functioning and in your social functioning. You can create a checklist. Write down, write down, write down. And after that, priority. Create a priority between them, which is the first, the most important, which is second, which is third, and go to their first needs. Why? Because they are very crucial. They are very important, very basic. If you can create change in your crucial parts of your life, that change will cover many areas, subcategorization of itself. What differences make difference? What differences make difference? Sometimes the differences that make difference are not great, huge, big changes. They are important and fundamental changes. They are not so great fundamental. The roots of a tree is not at the size of the tree. The roots are very deep. At the depth, yes, they are. They cover a huge size of the dust. Yeah, why not? But you cannot see the roots. You can see the tree. Sometimes you will work, sometimes, not always, sometimes you should work on the roots of the tree. Why? Because if the roots doesn't work so good, every production, every overproduction, or every over helping to the tree you will do, it doesn't work. Why? The roots doesn't work so good. These are not the very great changes. These are very deep changes. Also, we have some approaches in psychotherapy, in counseling, in coaching, in mentorship to help people to guide themselves in the process of change. Also, again, you can see here the process of change in Levin's model. It first was the status quo or old-fashioned and end the new state and unfreeze, change, and refreeze. Very simple, very practical. Unfreeze, awareness of need for change movement from one old state to new state, and refreeze, assurance of permanent change. The continuous change process model. In that model, in Levin's model, you saw that we can create a stage-based model for creating change. Stage with three stages: unfreezing, change or create change, and refreezing. In this model, as the continuous change process model say, incorporate the factors of change, a problem-solving process, a change agent, and transition management. Sorry. Incorporate the forces for change, a problem-solving process, a change agent, and transition management. Who is the responsible for change? How do you think about the concept of change agent? Who is change agent? Someone who creates change is change agent. Someone who receives change is change agent. For example, I'm life coach. You come to me and say, doctor, I have some problems in some aspects of my life. For example, I am always feeling of fatigue, loss of energy, and I have a mood swing. Sometimes I am high. After 2 hours, I'm lower between something like not mania, but something mania and depressed mood. And I love my partner, but I cannot show any kind behavior to him or to her. These are my major problems. Please guide me and help me as a counselor, as a life coach, as a psychologist, whatever you want to call it. Who is change agent? My client is change agent, or I as a coach am a change agent? How do you think? Same your view. Robert, Erica, Joy. How do you think? In the story I told for you, I am change agent or my client is change agent. Also in your company, in your business, you as a manager are change agents or your employees are change agents or not. For example, for tools, for machines, for market, who or what is change agent? How do you think? It's a very important question to think about it.
Uh, would it be the doctor person that's the change agent?
You come to me and say to me, change my life. I say, sorry, Erica, I cannot change your life. I can guide you that you can change your life. Who is change agent? I am change agent. No, you are change agent. Who? You said the doctor, the coach, the manager is change agent. Why?
Because they help you like transform or to like improve yourself.
I have overweight. I go to a nutritionist and say him or her that please help me to reduce my weight. I'm overweight. I'm in midlife and I want to have a good shape body and other things. He or she give me a program, a plan for my nutrition, weekly nutrition. I do it, the plan, and reach to my favorite body shape. Who is change agent? My nutrition coach or I?
So are you saying you're the change agent yourself because you're making that first step to go see them in the first place?
Uh-huh.
So that you would be the change agent?
Yeah. What is the role of my coach, nutrition coach, for example, health coach? What can you call them? What is the role of them? Only coaching, only helping, only guiding. Sometimes coaches are not only helpers. The major difference between coaches and psychotherapists and counselor, I have become about 10 years as a psychotherapist, very, very famous psychotherapist in my country. As a psychotherapist, I don't call my client after, for example, one day that, are you good or not? Have you done the practices I have ordered to you as your psychotherapist or not? Okay, after one session, go back after, for example, 1 week or 2 weeks. And he or she had a report for me to what has he or she done. But as a coach, I'm not like this. Every day, every 2 days, I call my client what they're doing. Have you practiced or stop procrastination? Give me your results. What's the problem with the doing and performing your planning? I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. I'm shaping his or her body of life, not his or body. Also, sometimes it is interacted and interfered with health coaching. I'm working on change of habit of people and the way they want by my bike, by my car. I am the car in their road. They say to me what the destination they want to go. And sometimes they come to me and say, I don't know where I want to go. It is okay. It is about the goal setting coaching. We have a model for goal setting. We assess your strength in your life, your power points, your weakness point, and in the combination and harmonization between these, it is very practical, very scientific base. We will find your best goal and goal setting. Sometimes you can know it's not related to you that what goal I want to go. I have determined my goals, but please help me and guide me how to achieve my goal. I am achievement coach, attainment coach. I'm not the goal setting coach. in that situation. Sometimes as a coach, you are change agent. As a coach, we have two parts, change agent and changer. And the final part is changed. Who is changed? What is changed? So as a coach, as a manager, as an organizational leader, you are the change manager. In many parts, change managers are change agents. In some parts, no. They only have a good perspective about the future of the organization as a leader. We have talked about it many times that leaders are always future oriented. If you are not future oriented, you are not leader. You are a manager. At the best scenario, you are a manager. Leaders are always future oriented. They think about the strategy of your organization for marketing, for business, and other parts. Okay. In that part, I, as a change manager, come to your organization and says this, that should be changed, and this one, that one should be changed. And I monitor. If I monitor the change process, I am the change agent. If I don't monitor, I am not change. I'm change counselor, only counseling for you to you that how can you create change in your life. And out of you, I am out of your life. The major difference between a manager, a leader, and a mentor and a leader is that mentor sells himself or herself. He or she is your role model for creating change in your life. Because of that, you cannot find any mentor something more than coaching. Mentorship is more than coaching, more important and more crucial than coaching. The final state is mentorship. The first step is helpers. Second one, counselors. Third one, psychotherapists. Fourth one, coaches. And the final grade is about mentorship. Mentorship is someone who don't talk to you. You look at him or her and say, yes, I want to be someone like you, not you, like you. And he or she said to you, help to you, sometimes will have some conflict with you, very, very hard, very serious, very, very serious. Coaching and mentorship are very serious jobs, very serious. As a role model, as a wise man or wise woman, as a sage, as a mentor, come. These are the different levels of change agents. Sometimes there's someone who should be changed, it's a change agent. Okay. Sometimes no. You are the change object. You are not the change agent. You are the change object. And someone else come to create change and monitor and control and handle and manage the change. Take a top management perspective. If I was a top management in this organization, what was my perspective? It is very important in your personal life. Why? This is tunnel vision. Many people have tunnel vision. They only look at the future at the size of this, very near future. Why? Because it is ambiguous for them. And many people have a major problem, so-called ambiguity tolerance or uncertainty tolerance. Many people cannot tolerate the uncertainty or ambiguity. Because of that, they only have the plans which are very measurable, very observable. When we talk to them about the desires, about the wishes, about the goals, about the timeline, it is very short timeline, very short timeline. Why? Because after a period of time, they cannot see, I cannot see also, you cannot see also. It is not about them, it is about us. Why? Because the nature of that part of life, it is ambiguity, uncertainty. There is no matter of, no problem with the uncertainty or ambiguity. It is the matter of ambiguity tolerance or uncertainty tolerance. They cannot tolerate and say, sorry, I cannot see that part. And I don't want to see. Why? Because I am so anxious about the future, about the unknown future. If I want to be so cool in my life, everything should be very clear for me. Now, what is the ultimate level of my goals? What is the ultimate point of my goals? The point or level that it is ultimately, finally very clear for me. After that, it is not my goal. It is not my wish. It is not my will. Nothing. So a very boring, ordinary daily life. And sometimes they are happy. When something is boring, it is not. It doesn't mean that it is not happy. It means that repeat, 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 repeat. No new energy, no new weather, no new climate, no new atmosphere to your life. It is something like, for example, marital state of marriage. Sometimes it is very boring, or occupational. Sometimes it is very boring. You are happy that it is a good safety zone for you. Because of that, it is called in psychotherapy and other parts of management and psychology and society, it is called comfort zone. Comfort zone is the zone that you have two features in that zone. One, sense of control. Two, sense of safety. In every aspect, in every area of your life, that you feel that good. I have a good sense of safety. I have a good sense of control. You are in comfort zone. What's the problem with the comfort zone? That is the end of your growth. No growth. It is comfort zone. Everything is. And the next step of comfort zone is fear zone. You see, wow, something should be changed, but I don't know. I'm feeling and sensing a lot of fear. It is good stage, because after fear zone, you enter the learning zone, and finally it is your growth zone. Also, it is a four-stage model is another model, not in your book, not in your management studies and course, but it is a very good model in psychotherapy and psychology. We said a four-stage model of comfort zone, fear zone, learning zone, growth zone. Again, after growth zone, you will enter a new at another level of comfort zone. Feel safety and feel everything is control. Everything is in control. Perceive forces and trends that indicate need for change. Pay attention. Our verb is about perceiving, not determining, not saying, not thinking. It is about perceiving. How can you give a meaning to the situations in your life? It is the scientific definition of perception. How can you, and what the meaning you can create for your sensation, for your five sensation? It is the meaning of perception. Because of that, many things you will sense in your five senses, but doesn't have any meaning for you, doesn't have any perception for you. It is called sensation and perception. You can find this definition in the definition of takes a top management perspective. It is perceived forces and trends that indicate need for change in the future or near future or far future. Determines alternatives for change. It is very important part, very hard part, very smart part of creating change. That what are our alternatives for change? If I want, for example, to change my partner, what are the alternative lovely forces, not lovely partner, lovely forces, forces that give you the meaning of the things you want to change, but it is alternative. It is not the same. It is altered states of consciousness, altered states of partnership, altered states of level of occupation, education, or other important areas of functioning. You should determine them. If you don't know where you go, you will never find when you have reached the destination. You should know your destination. If you work with GPS, when you enter your destination, it says arrived. The major problem for success is people never know they have arrived to success area. They think something more, something more, something more. Because of that, many successful people are not happy people. Why? Because there is no enough point for their satisfaction, not for the world. Okay, for this infinite, thank you. Enough point is not this stop point. Enough point, yes, I complete this stage of success. It is enough point. It is arrived point. I have arrived my success area. When you don't know when you want to go, you cannot find any time that I have reached or not. You are always in a never ending journey. And because your concentration is your destiny, you don't enjoy your journey. It's no problem. Life is a journey, I know. And never ending, the ending of this type and this file of journey is dying. Okay. If there is afterlife, go to the other stage of life. If there is not only materialistic life, okay, this is the end of your life. As Jim Morrison says, this is the end, my only friend. This is the end. Okay, this is the end of life, with or without afterlife. But if you are concentrated only to achievement, you will lose the pleasure or experience of attainment. And the science of happiness is positive psychology. Based on research, it is a science. It is not about positive thinking. It is about the finding scientific facts, scientific finding about the components and elements of very positive aspects of our life. One of the aspects is about happiness. The science of happiness, so-called positive psychology, says if you don't know where you have achieved, you cannot enjoy your attainment. And the process of attainment is always more pleasurable than the achievement point. When you are going forward to achieve your goal, it is more enjoyable part of your life than the achievement point. It is the relative between attainment and achievement. Attainment with a lot of happiness, achievement with a lot of satisfaction. Your life at the positive aspect is combination of these two components: achievement, happiness and satisfaction, attainment and achievement. More happiness, more satisfaction, more satisfaction, more happiness. If you are not happy with your life, please look at your satisfying factors that you have or you don't have in your life. If you are not satisfied with your life, please look at your happiness components. Do you have anything enough to make you happy? Or sometimes it is a very good book. I think it is about 2003. Yeah. Authentic Happiness. Authentic Happiness by Martin E.P. Seligman, the founder of positive psychology in Pennsylvania University. Authentic happiness. Sometimes authentic happiness, the causes, the components of authentic happiness is not outside, sorry, it's inside you. For example, forgiveness. If you cannot forgive yourself and other people, you cannot be happy. It is not outside, it is inside. It is inner part of you. For example, sense of serenity. Sense of serenity. Not to be cold, not to be calm. Sense of serenity, inner peace. It is a one factor, very important factor. Sense of having a perspective. As you see, all are authentic happiness. Okay. And select the appropriate alternate. So the forces, finding the forces, finding the alternative, and select and choose the appropriate alternative. Forces for change, recognize and define problem. It's a very good model, I love it. Problem solving process, and implement the change and measure and evaluate and control the change with a very, very good multidimensional feedback system. As you see, change agent is at the core as a heart of 4 functions from 5 functions. Recognize and define the problem, problem solving process, implement the change and measure the change, evaluate the change and control the change. In business, in engineering, in management, we have some words which are very closer together, but technically and professionally, they have different meanings. One of the words are evaluation and assessment. Note that Assessment, by the definition of gathering information, is at the first step of every process. Before entering to every process, change process, life process, education process, financial process, everything you want to enter as a process, multiple stages from zero to hero. Before zero, there is assessment, gathering information about what or where we are now. But evaluation is at the end of the process. It is about what or where we have gained, we have come, we have achieved. In the meaning, in the vocabulary meaning, sometimes people I see that they don't know the exact differences between the assessment, gathering information, or evaluation. Evaluation, it is about the value. Assessment, it is about gathering. So, for example, in change process, you can see that at first we want to recognize and define the problem. It is about assessment. And problem solving process, it is about assessment. Implement, it is about the action, and the terminal part, terminated stage, terminal part, it is about evaluation. And transition management, it is from outside. Change agent, a person responsible for managing a change effort. In this model, you can find the change agent very easily. What is the keyword of change agent? Responsible. Who is change agent? Someone who is responsible for managing a change effort, not for doing the change effort, for managing a change effort. Assist management with problem recognition definition we talked in the previous slide, and can be involved in generating, evaluating potential action plans, and can be from inside or outside the organization. Implement the change. You have seen this part. It is this. Measure, evaluate, and control the desired results. Transition management. Process of systematically planning, organizing, and implementing change. What you call change in organization, it is not called change. Change is very limited, and in most cases it is personally. We talk about the culture transition, social transition, organizational transition in a very huge scale, very great scale. It is transition from one stage to other stage, from old fashion to new fashion. It is about transition, not only change. Change is a part of transition. Why? Change besides management, change besides control, change besides feedback is called transition. When it is called transition, when changes are not new change, changes are permanent habits of that society, of that organ, permanent state, it is called transition. After that, the new change is not new. It is only change. And the new generation will forget that, oh, this item some years ago, some days ago, some centuries ago was not an ordinary item. It was a great change, like your mobile. Only 4 decades, only 4 decades. You can see the history, you can see the movies about 4 decades ago. Only 4 decades ago, your cell phone was a miracle innovation. Nobody believed that after 4 decades, everybody, it is not about poor people, about the rich people, everybody should have a cell phone, not have a cell phone, should have a cell phone. If he or she doesn't have any cell phone, he cannot live in a very, very simple lifestyle, very simple lifestyle. He or she cannot do anything in his or her life. Only 4 decades. It is transition, maintenance, the change as a new item to lifestyle. And when it enters the lifestyle and mixed and blending with the other components of lifestyle, Sorry, it is not called new. It is lifestyle. And after that, this new lifestyle, I said to you, we have some change resistance to the next stages, next altered state, next changes. Until when? Until the end. Until the end of the life, until the end of the world. In a huge categorization like society never end until the uh, exploding again in another big bang. But for ourselves, with very limited time until our death. Again, 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 again. Okay. Oh, we have time. Okay, very good for organizational development. It's OD. It's very famous word. The plan, development, and reinforcement of organizational strategies, structures, and processes for improving an organization effectiveness, which is organizational development. Something like I said to you, it is growth and development in the developmental psychology. We say growth is about the size, about the quantity, but development is about the quality, not about the quantity. So system-wide organization development is means the structural change. We have different parts in a structure and a comprehensive system-wide rearrangement of task division, rearrangement, not the same arrangement. Authority reporting relationships. We should do some rearrangement in three parts: in task division, in authority and reporting relationships. And affects performance appraisal and reward, decision-making, communication, and information processing system. We can see here contemporary approaches to system-wide audit is re-engineering, rethinking, and quality of work life. If you want to talk about the life in the modern age of human history, especially after World War II, we have two great total phrase for describing the human being life. At first, it is QOL, quality of life, based on the life standards. And the next one is change. These are the major concepts that we have encountered with them after World War II. Quality of life, QOL, and change. Sometimes you can find the word transition instead of saying change. And Walton categorizes our quality of work-life programs: safe and healthy work environment, growth and security, constitutionalism, social relevance, total life space, and social integration and development of human capacities, and adequate and fair compensation. Okay, you can have 15 minutes break until 11:20, and just at 11:20 come to the class again for entering your final exam. Okay, everybody, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. This is the password for entering the final exam, equality. Enter and check with me that you have entered successfully or not. Erica, have you entered? Okay. Joey, have you entered?
I'm about to check right now.